The power rule is your introduction to taking derivatives. Previously, we saw that differentiation allows us to find the slope of any point on the curve by simply putting the x-coordinate into the formula. For example, take this curve y is equal to x squared plus 3x minus 6. This is what the curve looks like, and if we want to find the slope at x equals 1, we could draw a tangent to the curve at that point. We can then use the rise over run equation and find the slope at that coordinate. However, this can get tedious really quickly, as what if I asked you for the slope at any generic point? Are you going to draw a tangent line each time? Well, you could, but that's too much work, and mathematicians are wonderfully lazy. We instead use differentiation to give us a formula that will give us the slope at any point by simply plugging the x-coordinate into the equation. And in this case, we would have this equation, which is known as the derivative of the curve, and this will work for any point. But how did I get there is the real question. I introduce you to the power rule, which states that a curve of the form y is equal to ax to the power n, where n and a are just numbers, will have the derivative of the form n times a times x to the power n minus 1. So for example, we can go back to our previous curve and treat each individual expression one at a time. For x squared, we can see that a is practically 1 and n is 2, and therefore the derivative is 2 times 1 times x to the power 1, which is 2x. We then consider 3x and apply the same logic, and we see that the derivative for that will just be 3. Now, considering minus 6, there is no x, but that's the same as x to the power 0, and therefore, using the power rule, we have the derivative for that will be 0, and our total derivative is going to be 2 times x plus 3. I'd say this is probably a good time to pause the video and try taking the derivative of this equation you see on the screen. Derivatives are not that difficult to take, but at the start they take some practice, and you should try a lot of different questions, and as you can see, you can make your own questions up and just go online and see if you got the answer right. But yeah, pause the video, try to take the derivative of this equation, and the answer is going to be on the screen in a couple seconds, and see if you got the same answer, and if not, then practice more questions, and that's how you get better for literally everything in maths. However, there is a drawback to the power rule, which is that it is too simple, as it only works for polynomials written in a certain format. What if I gave you a way more complex function, such as the one you see on the screen? How would you take the derivative of this function? There's a topic for another day, and this is a little bit too complex for now, but we will make our way there, starting with the product rule.